All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Embassy Robot Spiel here at the Potomac Curling Club in the Washington, D.C. area. We're just getting underway. This is draw number 9, and we've got All About the Oob against HamDangell, and we're just about to get underway. In fact, the first rock has already been thrown. Nice center guard. Start things off. And we will keep you up to date with the scores on all the sheets this afternoon as we can. So let's enjoy some curling. Alongside me in the box is Dylan, who's operating some of our cameras here. Some freshly scraped ice, so it should be nice playing conditions out there. Well, this one's over curling a lot. It's going to, a little light for weight as well. It's just going to actually sneak past the other guard, center guard, and just short of the rings there. Might be usable later on. It's a very raisable stone. So we're going to see the immediate draw around here. We're all about the oob. This is Stephen Johnson throwing his second stone. I haven't touched it yet. I think it might be heavy. Just backing away completely. I think it's going to hang around. Just in the back of the house there. Yeah, it's still deep, but, first end. Good line. Here's Justin Hamilton throwing his second stone. Aiming to improve on his first draw attempt. This one looking much better for line. Don't know if they're going to get by the guard, though. They are going to hit it. Well, they're going to promote opponents, but not too bad. Only into 12 feet, so still a lot of room. A lot of scoring area. Yeah. This is Dan Kennedy. He's just calling to put a guard up on the draw path here on the this side of the sheet, on the intern side. And it looks like only playing with 3 players at the moment. So it looks like Skip Alan MacNeill is out at the moment. So Dan taking over skip duties. And of course that means the other 2 players will throw 3 stones each. It's perfectly allowed in curling, but ideally, obviously, you have all 4 of your players. So that one on the right line, but coming up a little short, so not really blocking the draw path after all, because it's the guard's too high. But anyway, HamDangell opting for a different strategy here, going for the run on their own yellow that's tight to the rings. Try and move some of those reds around that are in the house. Sweep called immediately, must be tight for line, and I think this is going to might potentially raise their own center guard now. In fact, it's overcurled for that too. It's going to be a straight draw to the open side. And perhaps just a bit light of weight there. We're going to see the hit and roll attempt here from Gordon Bodnar. He's throwing the second /vice position right now. And a lot of curl so far we're seeing on the sheet. I think catching the players out a little bit. You're going to have to adjust, take some more ice. So just tick the center guard there and ran through the house. Still a lot of scoring area available. If I was HamDangell, I would be thinking maybe just the open draw here on the left-hand side of the sheet as we're looking at it. But deciding for the promote instead. Looks like this time Ray's attempt on the center guard is going to over-curl. Makes contact, but just light for weight, so doesn't really just change the situation in front of the house. Still some usable stones here for HamDangell, but Dan's going to have another crack at this hit and roll. I think maybe take a bit more ice this time. See if Gordon can make the correction. And it looks like he's definitely got more room this time, so. This one looks close. And that is a lovely throw there from Gordon. Nice hit and roll behind the guard. And so far, all about the Oob really in control of this end. Especially with that red dead buried. I think might be thinking bailing out here with a peel. Gonna chase it through there. There's a lot of curl, so the shot is there, I think. Precise weight required though. So you're looking at maybe just a backline weight here. If that, maybe, even just a tap weight. Come through the middle. Make contact with the red. Here comes the curl. This one's looking really good. If it gets by the guards, very close. Just makes it by. What a shot. That is, could not have got any closer to those guards. So really nice to control shot. And that was a full hack weight, so that shows you how much curl there is on the ice right now. So, and thinking maybe he can do the same thing. Here's Gordon with his third delivery this end, trying to replicate that shot. He's got good weight as he got the line. Is curling. It's going to be close to the guards. Don't know if he's going to get by. He did get by the top one. Is he going to get by the? Yes, he does. That is a pair of great shots. That is some good curling. And both teams are going to keep at it, but the target stone keeps getting higher in the house, which makes this become more difficult. A lot more room on this one. I think this is going to have to curl a long way. It is trying. Just going to clip the top guard and roll in. Rolls in for second shot. Question is whether all about the Oob want to deal with that or just going to ignore it. Guard up. It looks like that's what their first thought is. Just play the guard. Looks like the guard is the call here. The other option would be, of course, maybe to take out the Yellowstone, play it safe since you don't have the hammer, but this is a call too. I think, especially because both teams have been throwing this line. Make him play something else by throwing this guard. This one really needs to curl. Might have a little bit too much weight. Curls now. Here it comes. Really hard finish. It just needs to stop. This is going to go into the house. Question is, where is it going to end up? Just bang top four. Not bad. Not the outcome they wanted, but if you hit that, you won't be shot stone, which is a consideration. unless you make a roll. So I think they'll be looking to hit this and maybe, yeah, exactly, hit and roll to the right-hand side as we're looking at the house, underneath those guards. And if you get the roll right, you might roll it enough to get shot stone. And even if you don't, you know, there'll be second and third, which is puts a little pressure on. Good chance here to set up multiple score. Here's Kirsten Dangaran. Putting our first stone. It's like a nice hack to board weight, maybe a board waiter. He's going to make good contact, but not going to get the roll he wanted, but ends up in a very interesting spot. Corner frozen. Very useful result because you could use that with your hammer. If you make contact, the red will go. Suddenly a bit of a scary situation here for all by the Oob. Got to do something. Guard is still an option. The other option would be play that hit and roll. On the yellow on the left, roll in and sit 1 and 2, and then neutralize the threat, but obviously not a gimme shot at all. Looks like they're sticking with the guard. Well, he had a good line last time. He just needs to take a little bit of weight off, and should be in a good spot. So, same ice as last time. All right, here's Dan Kennedy throwing his last stone of the end without the hammer, so one more to come from the opposition. This one looks better for weight. It should curl pretty hard at the end here. Yeah, that's coming over pretty nice. I think that will block the... Yep, I think that does the job. Don't think you can access that yellow-red combination now. So, options to score are nothing easy. Got a wide draw. You can also play a hit and roll off your own stone. Let's see what they come up with here. I think they are looking at maybe... You could also play a straight draw on the on both sides, in fact. Touch piece of the 4-foot. Meanwhile, on sheet C, the first end's over. Looks like it was 1 red, so 1 for Mag. I'm not even sure I can say that. Mag Kakasama Tayo. They're playing against some assembly required. Well, they're having a look at it on sheet A, but it's clearly redstone if you ask me. So it looks like there's 1 red there for Pound the Rock Toronto. And here we go. We've got our hammer coming up here on B. And it looks like they've settled on the straight draw to the 4-foot. It's only against 1, so... Well, quite a bit of weight thrown, so maybe they're, in fact, playing a hit and roll after all. I'm not sure it's going to curl quite enough, or maybe it's going to be close. Yes, it is. Wow, there you go. What a shot. That's a great rock there for the single. Great work from Kirsten Dangaran. And on sheet D, they're still completing the first end. We will let you know the score. In fact, the hammer is being thrown right now from Tanya Mulvey. Facing a bundle, so really needs something to happen here. Not certain what the call is. Through the middle, maybe, and it's not going to work out. So this is going to be a big steal of 4 in the first end for Philippine Queens. That was a rough start from Mulvey, but if you're going to give up 4, the first end is probably the best time to do it. I think that's what they always say. Right, back on our feature game. Nice center guard went up here. We do have the no-tick rule now this year, so that rock cannot be moved off the center line. Oh, I've been told we're not playing that rule in this event. So you can disregard what I just said. So that is now a rule that you will see in a lot of events now. Straight draw coming in here. Looks pretty good. I think they could have kept going there. Not sure why they stopped. Could have just got that into the top 8 behind the guard. But nice rock nonetheless. Nice takeout there. I think the yellow shooter will stick around. And the 12-foot. Suspect Dan is going to ignore that one. Yeah, indeed. Opts for a different plan. Looks like he called for a tight guard, which is not the first thing you might consider with the hammer, but I think maybe Dan just wants to play a draw game here. He wants to, with 3 players maybe also, he wants to play the draw game, just draw to the middle. Another nice looking rock coming in here. This one's going to bury, I think, this time. Yeah, it's going to be right under cover. Nice shot. Maybe a little bit poking at the other side, but not much. Looks like they are going to chase this. They gestured about the run back, but I don't know if they decided on the run or to go around the guard. Looks like they decided to go around the guard, but I think they're going to make contact. And it's because it's their own stone, they can remove this from free guard zone. That was their own guard. And in fact, rolls to a corner, kind of playing this end in reverse here with the non-hammer team buried behind the corner guard.
Yeah. You want a guard or in? Yeah. That's the easiest shot to make. No guard. I can't believe that. Push that far.
Eben Johnson throwing his 3rd rock. He's going to be a tired fellow by the end of this game. Got to sweep 6 rocks on his own. 5 rocks, excuse me. He's got to sweep 5 rocks on his own every end. Guard attempt over curling a bit, so shot stone is going to be exposed. Kirsten wasting no time, going after it. Yeah, nice shot there. Good takeout. Doesn't make the roll underneath, but that's okay. Will be a chance now for Dan to make the roll, though. In theory, I think the other yellow might also be a catcher if you roll too far. You might. The other yellow might catch you. See if that becomes a factor. This is pretty good. This is going to make the roll. Where is it going to stop? Looks like at least partially under the red guard. Well, maybe rolled just too far. Certainly, most of that rock is exposed. This one needs to curl. Not sure if it's going to get there. It's trying. Here it comes. Oh, look at that curl. This is going to be perfect. Shot stone just going sideways there. The shooter. What a good shot. So now I bet Dan's wondering if he should just draw around all of this, or whether he should chase. He's deciding to chase. Just hits the guard. And the red guard, it will roll, I think, out of the rings. Yep. Well, it didn't hit the sideline, but not in the rings, so don't need to worry about that one. An interesting situation. Really could try to put some more pressure on. Maybe draw around your rock on the top 12. I think because you're probably not going to steal with the top 12 rock. Instead, opting to go put another one top 12, just trying to block all the paths in. That's a good idea too. The only thing you can't really do here is if you're deep and wide open, you don't want to be there. So. And if you're too light, you might just give down something to draw around. So let's see where this ends up. Looks pretty good. Sweeper's working hard. I think they're going to get it at top 12, right where they wanted it. So good shot. Really nice weight control. So maybe contemplating a double. Try and clean this up a bit. I think Gordon's not happy with that delivery, unfortunately, and I think it's going to over curl. Don't know if he's gonna make contact. He's actually might make. Oh. Does he make the double? Not quite. Almost made the double on the other two. But the second yellow is still hanging around there. now with only the skip stones to come. I think now is maybe the good time to make that draw underneath the top 12 rock. Try and tighten the scoring area. And it looks like that is what Kirsten's going to do. Good save there on the sideline. The rock was coming flying from the other sheet. Well caught just in time. Here we go. This is the first stone for Kirsten. Dangaran trying to draw a top 4 underneath the center guard. I think this might they might have to play the raise on their own, which wouldn't be bad either. But I don't know if they're going to get to nose. No, they're not. They are going to tap their own forward. Not bad. Now, how do you manufacture 2 points out of this? You can draw it, but there's a very short raise available for HamDangell. Might just have to play for the single here. Dan's going to just play the takeout here. It's early. Just want to make sure you can score. Well, just a little discussion here between Dan and Steven. Maybe Steven has another shot he was thinking about, but I think I'm going to stick with the original plan here. There's Dan, a very proficient stick curler.
Like control.
Probably giving the commentator's curse there, but this one looks okay. Yeah, nice shot. Just a nice nose hit. I think we'll see Kirsten return the favor. Red is shot stone, so you gotta go after it. Oh, she made a great shot in the last end with her final stone. Let's see if she can do it again. Just needs a nice hit. Taking plenty of ice just to make sure the guard doesn't come into play. Don't need to stick around here. I mean, obviously it would be nice, but as long as the red goes away, you're forcing. Oh, I think this one maybe a bit tight for line. Sweeper's on it straight away. I think they might be able to hold it. Yes, they are. I think they are. So good shot. Looks like it was a score of 1 on sheet A for Killig It. I think that must be a pun, but I don't. Personally, I don't know. I don't know what it refers to. So I'll try and find out. So back on B, not really much to do here for Dan. Against 3. Really has to just draw. Not sure there's much else to... I was wondering, maybe he's trying to figure out if he can hit the open one and be shot, which is maybe. Draw is not as nice as you'd like just because of the position of that corner guard, which is not actually in the way, but optically it looks like it might be in the way. So just in the back of your mind, guard is a nuisance. Hammerstone coming in here, I think, on C. And it's going to be a big score for some assembly required. It looks like at least 4 yellow, I think, there. Great shot there by Tammy Moyer. All right, so actually, because of the position of that corner guard, Dan's opted to make the draw to the side, which I actually really like. I think that's a great idea because you've got plenty of room. You only need to bite the 8-foot. And it really takes that corner guard out of the equation, although they're still thinking about it. I like this idea. Never a situation you want to be in as a skip, but sometimes these are the cards you get dealt.
Got a curl, Steve. Got a curl.
Needs to curl. I think it's going now. I think it might go just enough to get by the top. Yes, just great. Great judge. Nice draw for the single. So that ties us up at 1 each after 2 ends. And one more game still in the second end. That's on D. We will let you know what happens over there. Center guard to start things off. So he's going to over curl here quite significantly. He's going to also drift into the house. So not an ideal first rock, but let's quickly check in on sheet D where the Hammerstone is incoming. And it looks like a draw for 4. And I think is it going to get there? I think it got there. Yeah, I think it did. So that is, after giving up 4 in the first end, you get 4 right back in the second end. That's going to be an interesting game to keep track of, I think, as we go forward. So good work by Mulvey. Forget all about that first end now. So HamDangell going to put up the corner here. Corner guards. Taking a lot of ice, but it is swingy. So I think perhaps a good idea to take all that ice. Let's see where this ends up. Well, it does need to move, but it's going to come off the center line ice, but also drifting in now. So just both leads a little heavy, but
Want to guard or hit? Let's hit.
so Dan opting to play the takeout here, not interested in throwing another center and really get stuck in. Wants to, you know, just manage the risks here. Which, you know, very sensible decision. No need. Could go either way, but, you know. Absolutely fine to play takeout there. And it does roll out, I think, out in the rings, but won't be too concerned about that. So now the question is whether HamDangell wants to try and throw another corner. And I think they are. Try and generate some offense. Not too worried about that red. It's top 8 right now. Weight looks better on this one, and it's curling over nicely. Could have done with a little bit more curl, but good shot. Dan's actually going to go around it immediately. This is fine, but you don't want to end up back 4 or something, and then give your opponent something to freeze on. So tolerance here is definitely, you know, a few feet light, if anything. Steven. This one hanging out there. Not sure how much finish there's going to be. Don't think he's going to get underneath the guard. Good weight, but slipping a little deep actually as well. So nice in the back 8. So now that stone might be usable by HamDangell. You could freeze down to it, or you could just make the straight draw for now under your guard. If you threw it, you can use it. Both are good options right now. There's Ben Campbell trying to make the draw. A little bit extra weight here, so going to tap the red back. Needed the red actually to stick around. For the yellow to stick around, I mean. Which it does. And not totally clear who's shot stone right now. Possibly yellow, but I wouldn't want to put money on it. There, Dan's going for the draw again. Not too interested. Well, when I say that, I'm actually uncertain whether he's interested in chasing his yellow or not. Looks like he is going for the drop again. And I think this one has a lot of weight. And now Dan, I think he was trying to call the audible there, but it was too late. And yeah, that's just a wee bit too heavy there. Missed opportunity. Ben Campbell going to try and make that draw again. the curl. I think maybe this might be heavy as well. Yeah, the sweepers are back to right off. I think this is going to go straight through. Yeah, even a little touch with the yellow didn't save it. Just trading misses there. And actually having touched that yellow, it might have changed. Yeah, it has in fact changed who's shot. So red is definitely shot now. Here's Gordon once more on the draw. It's definitely tighter for the line. I think the line looks pretty good. No, I think they might crash the guard here. Yeah, that really went sideways once they hit the center line. And I don't know if I love that result for All About the Oob. That's rolling for center is not what you really want when you have the hammer. So this is a good opportunity now for HamDangell to make the hit and roll and put some pressure on. Of course, what you don't want to do is jam on the back yellow, which is, of course, exactly what would happen if I was throwing this right now. But luckily, I'm not. This one is tight. It's going to hit the guard for sure. It might just raise the guard in. I think just it was not enough weight, I think, on that throw. Yeah. Just push the guard to back 12, so maybe just a little down. But does leave a yellow center. So All About the Oob going to draw in here underneath. Main thing here is not to be too deep. Hates to be back 4 and leave a pocket. So I think this one. Wow, just look at that go sideways. It looks like if you look at the rock there, you see that it really lost rotation. And that tends to cause them to just kind of behave unpredictably. So maybe the players really need to just add a little extra rotation, make sure that doesn't happen this afternoon. Seems like a lot of curl. Just look at that curl. It looks really good at the hog line and then just went sideways. So it hits the guard, rolls into the 12. And now we're down to skip stones here in the third end. Does open up access to the red. And I think if I was down here, I'd be thinking just draw one straight in there. Top 4 underneath everything. There's 2 guards covering the center area. Lots of room to throw one in there. And you know it curls. But he may also consider removing some yellows just to make sure. But no, it looks like he will do the draw. Quite a lot of margin here. I mean, you also, if you throw it heavy by accident, you also tap your own. Like, you have a lot of good things that could happen here. So I really like this decision. Meanwhile, on A, an absolute stack of yellow stones in the house here. And Pound the Rock Toronto trying to get in there, limit the damage. And they are trying, but it's still sitting 3 yellow there. And I think that was the hammer, so steal of 3. At least it wasn't 5. Tough end there for Pound the Rock Toronto. And I think across all the sheets, you're really seeing that there's a lot of curl. The teams have to be very mindful of that. Okay, here comes the draw for Dan. Try and get one, sink one top four under the guards. Sweeping for curl, but I don't think they need to sweep for curl. I think it's going to curl plenty. Yeah, and I think, in fact, well, maybe just light for weight, but in a little bit of a lucky break, they rolled for a perfect guard on their own stone. So sort of got away with that. Be breathing a bit of a sigh of relief, I think, for that one. But it's like sitting 2 and 3 HamDangell, so it looks like Kirsten, Dangaran, maybe he's going to go after the shot stone despite being under the guard. Maybe just throw down weight. We have seen how much curl there is, so almost anything is accessible, it seems. So I'm going to go after it. Only needs to push it to the 12-foot area. So that's a chance. Looking pretty good here for a line if it's got the weight. Well, is it going to know it? It really needs to curl up. I think it's going by. I think just good try. Just didn't quite curl over enough after the guard there. Now one stone needs to come, and what do you do if you're down here? You definitely don't want to mess up your guard. I think maybe you could just try and hit the yellow. It's back 8, right? And go straight through the port. Just make sure you don't over curl and clip your red out. So yeah, maybe if you throw the other turn, that would be a factor, yeah. Yeah, they're looking at a few options. I think the thing that I'd be concerned about trying to draw is you never want to tick the existing guard, but you really want to get another one in there. So you got to do something, because if you give Kirsten that shot again, you can bet she's going to make it. So not sure what was decided. The ice could be for a draw, it could be for a guard. Definitely not going after the yellow in the back gates. Which I also didn't mind. You could also draw through the middle. Very under the staggered red-yellow on the left-hand side. Looks like the hammer is coming up on C. Kama Hamilton throwing red here. And this one is over curling. I don't know if it's going to get into the 4-foot. It does not. So it looks like it's just a single for red there. And it looks like Dan did elect to throw the guard here. And it looks pretty good, yeah. And that means the shot stone is well overburied on both sides now. So quite tough to get in there now to score. Oh, excuse me, I beg your pardon. Yellow's already seeing one, I beg your pardon. But to score the second one, not so easy. You do have the long raise into the 4-foot, not very easy. You have a hit and roll off your own stone. It's in the 12-foot on the right-hand side. Really don't think there's access to that red stone anymore. And The only other question is whether there's a way to score multiple with a raise. Certainly nothing easy. Well, looks like they might be lining up for either the tap or the straight draw. And that, yeah, gesturing the straight draw through the port on the between those two yellows, and that is quite a tight port, actually. I think this is not easy because there's so much swing. Don't know if it's even there, but we'll find out. Here's the hammer. Kirsten Dangaran. Calling the sweepers on. Must be pretty close. Can she get through? Looks really close. Oh, it did hit. Yeah, it was very tough to get through. Good try. And it's going to be one yellow. So just trading singles here on the feature sheet. D still finishing up their third end. We will keep an eye on that one. Looks like it's just the hammer to come on D. As we get underway here in the fourth end. Just check in on D here using our all sheets view, and looks like a lot of yellow in there, and red with the hammer lining up an angle promote, angle raise, I guess, just to get one in there. Need to touch the 4 foot. And these are tough. You have to throw it. It's like a heavy draw, so they must be very precise for line because there's a lot of curl with that weight. Stone is underway. Sweepers are really on it. I don't think they're going to make the raise. Whether they can do anything else, just get in there, squeeze through the gap. No. Hits the yellow and looks like a steal of 3 for Mulvey. So after giving up 4, they then scored 4 and then stole 3. So a high scoring encounter over there so far. It's all happening on D. And we might run out of scoreboard space for that game if things continue like that. Meanwhile, back on B, we've got guard coming in for All About the Oob. Sort of a half corner guard there. It's sort of it's on the 4 foot line, so ideally you'd want it a little wider for a corner, so that you don't block your potential draw path. But usable stone leaves the center open. So HamDangell, I'm not sure if they're going to try and throw a center here or whether they want to come in again. Looks like they are coming in. Yeah, nice weight. Well, maybe double opportunity here for Steven. I know Steven, he can definitely throw some big weight. So let's see what he can do here. Needs to curl. Doesn't want to go through the gap here. Oh, is he going to go through the uprights? I think he's going to hit one of them. No! No, I think they could have been on that to try and at least hit one of them. A bit unlucky, but Now, going to go for the center. Guard things up. Skip just left the ice for a moment, so the Vice is taking over for a couple of stones. For a nice center guard. It needs to curl, but we know it's swingy. I think it will. Not touching it for weight. Looks pretty good. Just needs to sit down. Line is nice. Is it going to come in? It is going to come in. Just a little extra weight. But still racking them up in the house. And I think Dan's going to have another crack at this double. Not going to get all three out, but could probably get two of them going. All right. Steven Johnson's going to shake that last one off and try again. Here comes the takeout attempt, and I think definitely going to make contact this time. Maybe make this double. Yeah, he is. Good shot. Will the no yellow doesn't quite go out. Good try. Didn't quite have enough momentum to get the second yellow out, but definitely moves it out of the danger area.
It's really hot. Sorry.
So interesting decision here. Actually missed the whether the call is to draw in or throw a guard, but yeah, the redstone is wide open and available, but opting to draw instead. Definitely going to make things interesting this end. And this is really overcurling. It's definitely going to hit the red, I think. Just doesn't do too much harm. No, but leaves that red there, and he's got some options now. He's got a couple of hits and roll opportunities. He could tap his red. I like what he's thinking, which is to play on this yellow. If you can sit even like first and third, or even second and third, it's pretty nice. Very important to stick around here with this shot. Here comes takeout from Gordon. Not touching it for line, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, just did all the work himself. Nice hit. And even though those are close together, it's not as easy a double as it appears, because they're absolutely flat. I think you're probably just getting one of them out here. Interestingly, unless I've lost my mind, HamDangell has switched throwing positions in the middle of the game, which I think is, strictly speaking, not allowed. But I guess both teams must have just agreed to it, so therefore, you know, it's okay. But Skip is now throwing Vice Rocks. Or perhaps this is an interpretation of Skip had to leave this end, and therefore they throw it in a different order. I'll have to try and check in on that and understand that. But nevertheless, all about the Oob don't seem to be bothered, so just getting on with it.
Same as last. Control.
All right, suddenly it's all red in there, and Dan trying to make sure that lonely yellow goes away, and I think it will. Just doesn't want to jam it. Just needs to curl up, and I think it will curl up enough. Yeah, good shot. Now really controlling in front of the house. All those reds. But still a freeze opportunity. The red that's back 4. Question is whether you want to try and clean up some of this mess at the front first, or just commit. And I think they're going for the cleanup. I think that's probably the smart call. It's only the 4th, and you don't need to push the boat out just yet. So takeout attempt coming in. Definitely going to make 1 red go away. Can they make 2 go away? No, it does just dead jam it. So. Good news is they did stay for second shot, which means Dan might feel like he has to deal with that. Can't really ignore it, and he's opting to. He gestured to guard Yellowstone, and I really don't love this call, if I'm honest. I think his idea is they want to use it, so guard it, but I really think that might be an error because it just allows them to play on the other reds and leave their yellow, which is already second shot. So let's see where this ends up, though. Wow, the line is good, but I think it's got a little extra weight. It's going to tap up their yellow just a wee bit into the 4-foot, so don't think that's what they wanted. Very tempting now to try and play the double, I think, on those 2 reds. They're lined up just on the right-hand side of the sheet as we're looking with the camera. On the right-hand side of center line. You ever make that double and you can even roll under cover, suddenly you're looking good. Well, deciding to go for the draw here, which I understand. So maybe freezing to the back 4. I think I'll be curious to see if HamDangell stay in this order next end. Might give us a clue as to whether it was a rules interpretation related to the skip leaving the ice for a minute, or whether something else happened, because in the meantime, this is coming out really light, so this is going to end up as a guard, which I think they were trying to draw into the house, so this is just going to come up short. Really means that I strongly suspect Dan might just throw up a guard here. It's a double guard shot stone. But you need to figure out what the ice is. You could also raise your top 12 red in to try and sit 2 and leave a guard that way. Might be what they're looking at now. Put a little bit more pressure on. I quite like that. As long as you throw a nice draw weight, you should leave your shooter as a guard. Well, it looks like on sheet C, it was a score of 2 for yellow, I think. For some assembly required. So taking control of that game. So here comes the Dan's final rock, where he's looking for a little tap. Weight looks good for the tap, is very line sensitive. Has he got the right line? Oh, I think he just over curled a bit, which means the shot stone's gonna be exposed. And that means it's gonna be a shot for 2 for HamDangell. So the weight was really nice. He just hit the wrong side of the stone. So he didn't leave his shooter as a guard. And now, out of nowhere really, and now a chance for the 2. And that yellow that's been sitting there suddenly comes into play. But going for the draw weight here, I guess you can just draw and tap back a little bit. A lot of players would be tempted to throw a bit more weight at this, but this is absolutely fine too. It's definitely there for 2. Needs to stop. It's just gonna over curl, and that is gonna be a steal of 1. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. There's more stones to come. Oh my goodness. Wow. Where have I been? Getting all confused here in the warm room. Don't worry about me. In fact, Dan has another stone. So just a nice draw to the forefoot. So this is now the hammer on B, and on D they are also only going to have 1 stone remaining. Hammer is coming up. And it looks like a chance for 2 on D. All right, so here's Dan's hammer underway on B. And I think this draw is going to come a bit late for Dan, so it might just be the single point for All About the Oob. Yes, it is. So all tied up after 4, 2-2. So very tight game here on our feature. So on A, it's currently 4-2 for killing it against Pound the Rock Toronto, and they're in the 5th end. On sheet C, it's 6-2 for some assembly required against Maikakasama Tayo. And they're also in the 5th end. And then over on D, they're still playing the 4th with the hammer to come. And I think they're still discussing the shots. Whether they can make a shot for 2 or whether they are forced to a single. That's the Philippine Queens who have the hammer. Looking at maybe a run. Let's see what they've decided. Now Sheet A playing the quickest. They're already halfway through their 5th end. So we had a nice bit of a high center here over on B for All About the Oob, just slightly off center. So on D, they are going to go for a run here to try and score 2. To try and reduce their deficit. We will see that coming in just a minute. It looks like the skip is currently convincing the other players of the shot. Yep, I think they're going for it. HamDangell drew around the long center, sitting in the top 8. So freeze is the call here, I think, for Steven. Just draw down to it. And Hammer is incoming on sheet D for the Philippine Queens. Trying to make the run for 2. Sweeping hard, and no, over curled, and it will be a steal of 1 for Mulvey. Just a little tight for line there for the Philippine Queens. So it's currently 8-4 Mulvey, but we've seen some high scoring there already, so certainly change. So drawing the open side here, HamDangell. And this time HamDangell with the hammer. We'll try not to get confused again. So sitting 1 already, so just try and draw a second one to the open side. Good weight. I think maybe would have liked that a little bit further off to the side, but good shot. And not really a lot of places to hide here for All About the Oob. It's a problem. Even the hit and roll only takes you to the back 8 area, and it's not an ideal place to be, really. But still, got to take out the yellows, control the situation. And a good-looking shot coming in here for Steven. If anything, this might actually over-curled a bit. I think they could have been sweeping it the other way for line there, but obviously only 1 sweeper available for them this game, playing with 3, so only so much they can do. So same again, just draw the open side. Maybe take a little less ice to get it a little further out. Sweep was on straight away. They must be worried about the weight. It does look like it's a bit light. Can they get it on? I don't think so. Yeah, that's just coming up short. Something to use later, but it does sort of block the draw on both sides, which is not ideal. So I think Dan, he's just going to call the freeze here, just freeze down to that yellow stone, shrink the scoring area. See if he can force. Very tight competitive game here on B. Steven sweeping hard. The draw coming in here from Gordon. Needs to just curl up. Looks pretty good for weight if it just has the curl. And here comes the finish. Maybe just a foot heavy. Yeah, just a foot heavy. But good try. Those are so difficult. Weight control is really important. Sheet A is finishing up the 5th already, so hammer coming in. Red's currently seeing one buried underneath the guard. Trying to access it, but they're not going to. Crash all over the center. And it will come in 4-foot butts. That lonely red is all that matters. And that will be a steal of 1 for Pan the Rock Toronto. As they begin the 6th end over on A. So second attempt here at the freeze, but this one much tighter for line. I think this is going to be all over the red guard. Sweeping hard to try and get it by, but not going to do it. I'm just going to open up both stones, the red and yellow now open. And I think we're going to see some takeouts here. And so interestingly, we see that HamDangell did revert back to their original order. So they must have thought that there was something, because the skip had left the ice, they felt like they'd have to throw in a different order. And now they're back to their regular order. And I don't have the rule book in front of me, so I'm not going to comment on that. But nevertheless, we've got curling going on here. That's all that matters. Doesn't make the takeout, but does at least leave themselves guarded, so not a bad result. Not certain what the call was here. I thought it was for a guard, but I think the line is not going to be good for the guard, unfortunately. Just going to overcurl. Maybe. Definitely going to overcurl. Yeah. So the red is unfortunately wide open. And I think the HamDangell definitely going to go after it. Yep. Make a nice hit and roll here. Underneath the yellow guard on the left-hand side. Then you're seeing 2 buried. A very nice situation. Looks pretty good. It's definitely going to make contact. The question is whether it has enough weight to actually move the red out the rings. I don't think it does. Oh no, I think just not enough weight there. Still leaves the 2 yellows in a good spot. All that the oob has to be, they are shot, but they have to be very careful. They don't allow any play on those yellows. So he's definitely going to guard this. Other option would be to freeze down to, which may happen if you end up a little heavy on your guard. Even if you do guard it, it could be run in at some point. So definitely a bit interesting situation. Lots of potential for HamDangell, but also noticing it's hard to say from here whether there's the red-yellow guards are lined up to hit the yellow-red in the house or not. If they are, that could be a useful resource for HamDangell later on. I don't know if either team has looked at that yet. Dan's rock coming in, definitely going to overcurl, I think. Just need to take more ice here, it looks like. Both teams getting caught out. Well, going to change the angle on those two guards, but and then nice little bump there. Makes the guard pretty good because of that. So definitely got the result they wanted. But the swing seemingly catching both teams a little off guard here. So HamDangell looking at all the raises here, and they're looking at the yellow raise, which I understand because it's their rock. I'd be very tempted to just throw the red raise, even though it's a red. You can still sit 2, and it's easier because of where it is on the center line. Whereas the angle of this yellow is not ideal to make this. And the other nice thing about throwing it on the red is if you don't make the raise and you make a peel, that's okay. But to make this perfect, you might sit 3. Although I think the raised rock is likely to roll out somewhere. Let's see. It depends what weight they throw. I think it's absolutely perfect. You'll be sitting 3. Under cover. So here comes the rock. Plenty of weight thrown. This one needs to curl. I don't know if it's going to make contact. I don't think so. No, it's going to fly right by. And now, the question is, what does Dan want to protect against? Be pretty tempting to actually throw another one in there, but it's not that easy to get in. Make a wide draw. Well, while they discuss those options, we'll have a quick check-in on C, where the hammer is about to be thrown. Currently, yellow's sitting 1, and red's got the hammer. So basically, just a draw here, draw the button, I think, is basically what they have. Interestingly, not taking a ton of ice here on C for this draw. So we'll see if it's enough. Campbell Hamilton throwing skip stones. And I suspect this is going to over-curl, but let's see. Called on for line straight away, and I think this is going to be all over all those guards. Yeah, I just don't think they gave it enough ice there. Well, interesting little wick, but I don't think it's going to get there. No. So that's going to be a steal of 1 for some assembly required. Tammy Moyer in control of that game. Meanwhile, Dan has made his decision over on B. He's going to throw his last without the hammer. And then we'll see what Kirsten Dangaran can do. I think she will have a shot to score 2. The question is, how difficult will it be? Well, this definitely looks like a guard. The question is, guarding what? Well, in the end, sort of guarding not much. Maybe it does do enough to actually guard the red rays because they're sort of edge on edge. So Kirsten going for this yellow rays again. Well, they tried the first time. Just need to make contact with that red. Could be for 3. See if they make the adjustment from the first attempt. This one's going to over curl. Pretty good try, but it was just a tough angle. So that will be a steal of 1 for All About the Oob. But good effort there. Just a steal of 1, so, you know, still all to play for here with 3 ends left. It's 3-2 for All About the Oob as we start the 6th. And there's a couple of rocks left on D. All the other games are in the 6th. D is still in the 5th end, and we will keep you up to date with that. Here's Stephen Johnson about to throw his first. Wearing a very scientific t-shirt. PB, that's the periodic table symbol for lead, by the way. And I think it's a pun on the fact that he's playing lead. So, good work, Stephen. I like it. And that's a nice guard, stops just in time. So, good shot, Stephen. Here's Justin Hamilton throwing his first rock of the 6th. Really nice tight game here, some good curling, all to play for. I think trying to throw a sort of tight corner here. And it's definitely good guard weight. And here it comes, nice finish. I think it's gonna be a nice corner. Yeah, good shot. Good shot. So it looks like 1 stone remains on D. It's the hammer. And that's Philippine Queens will have the hammer there. As Stephen tries to just draw around his tight guard that he just threw. Nice. Really nice draw there from Steven. Top 4. Pretty much perfect. Let's just quickly take a look at the all 4 sheets because the hammer's coming in on D. And Mulvey currently sitting 1. And fully buried, so it's like they're trying to raise, but it's not easy. And this is going to be very hard to get the angle they need. Well, let's see. Yeah, it hits the top. Wow, well, we have to. Meanwhile, we have to take a look at A, where Killig is currently sitting 7. So a potential 8-ender coming up, which, if you're new to curling, that is outrageous. So it needs full 12. This is Ted Halleck here throwing the hammer. And he's got so much backing, he really just needs to do whatever. Got so many yells here for backing. This would be incredible if he makes it. And he threw it. I think he might have thrown it so hard he might knock one out. Actually, I think he might have made. I don't know. Oh no, he's. I think he's okay. I think he's done it. I think it's for 8. It's at least 7. No, he's done it. That is incredible. Live on air, we have an 8-ender on sheet A. That is unbelievable. And well, funnily enough, that's handshakes. And it looks, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's I mean, the red is definitely the not closer than that yellow, so I think we're going to have to get some pictures of that. Wow, you saw it here, Potomac Curling Club, live on our live stream. That is awesome. No matter what else happens this event, they're going to be chuffed to bits, as they say in Britain. Well, you do not see that every day. It's kind of like bowling the 300 in bowling or something. No, really doesn't happen very much. All right, so back on B, it's currently red sitting 2, and the guard attempt is really over curling, and I think they're just going to try and bring it in, but all it's really going to do is actually block the path to the yellow, so again, I think there's a lot of curl out there, and catching, the teams are having trouble with it, so a chance now for a hit and roll under cover. If you could sit 2 and 3 here, you'd be pretty happy. So the final score on A is 12-3, which, yikes. And that game is obviously completed after that. Unfortunately, I think Ted's reward for that is that he's actually doing ice prep for the next draw, so that's what he gets for getting an 8-ender. Oh, attempted freeze, just wicked the top red there. Really good weight for that shot, but just rolled into the open. So now yellows are starting to rack up here. You could have 3 yellows in the house undercover after this, if this hit and roll is made. Suddenly a very scary situation for all about the oob, and a lot of potential here for HamDangell if they make one good shot here. Just trying to decide on the ice here. Quite a lot of ice taken, but if it's a downweight takeout, that's just fine. It does curl. We know it curls. And here comes the curl. This might over curl. I don't know. It's going to hit the top red. And it might roll to a good place. It does somehow roll in for shot there. Interesting. I think a lot of yellows here in play, which is good news for HamDangell. Dan, he does have a pretty much a gimme raise here, red-yellow, to get rid of that yellow. I think he's going to go for it. So here's Gordon Bodnar going to go for that raise. A little bit of a wobble. Can he adjust? Yeah, I think he managed to get it back. Well, he did throw it a little wide. Needs to curl, but it's got a chance. No, it looks nice. I think he's actually going to hit the yellow directly. Or is he even going to overcurl for that? Oh my goodness, it's actually going to... Oh wow, what an interesting situation. I'm not sure what to make of that. I think All About the Uber are going to be quite happy with this, with that red being promoted to a corner freeze. Really takes those two side yellows out of play completely. And even though yellow is currently shot, like, yeah, there's so much, multiple ways they can get at that yellow. So, like, this is a really good situation now for Dan and All About the Ub. That really worked out. HamDangell going to, thinking about the guard here, but, oh, that doesn't feel good to guard this situation. How do you guard both? You can't guard both shots at this, so really not sure about this call, because I think no matter what you do, All About the Uber are going to have a shot to remove that yellow and sit at least 3. Now let's see. Looks like a guard weight stone coming in. It's going to guard one of the raises. I don't think it's going to guard both. Well, no, it's not. So, good chance now to make that yellow go away and sit at least 3 in a really good position. Dan, he's pretty good with these kinds of takeouts. I expect he'll be close. All right, so we are just waiting for Dan's first rock here. It's definitely going to go for that red-yellow. It's pretty much a gimme as long as you make good contact with the red. You're going to be in a really good position. Just needs a nice shot here. And Dan is usually pretty good at these. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I think he's got it. Wow, that's a good shot there. Yeah, perfect. And now, that's a lot of red. Shot stone is open though. Question is how you manufacture multiple score. If you can lie second after this, and you do have the run on your tight guard, is something to think about. Definitely need a good shot here, though. Meanwhile, on C, there's quite a collection of red stones accumulating in the forefoot, with only only 2 rocks to come. And I think red also has the hammer, so good chance to get back in that game. Some assembly required, about to throw their last. Tammy Moyer. And I wonder, I think they're just thinking freeze to the back 4, kill this whole, take all those reds out of play. I think that is the shot, but it's got to be a good one, or you're leaving a shot, potential shot for 4. Meanwhile, takeout attempt coming in here, and it's just going to be a nose hit, which is fine, but leaves it open for Dan. Meanwhile, here comes the freeze attempt from Moyer, and it's going to over curl. It's going to come up light, and it's going to be, oh dear, still sitting 3 for Makakasama-Tayo, and they have a draw for 4 to get right back in this game. It's absolutely crazy out here this afternoon. We've got an 8-ender. They've scored like 6 million points on Sheet D. And Sheet C is about to get very close again. Here on B, the yellow is wide open, so Dan's definitely going to go after it. And he should be sitting at least, well, should be sitting 2 after that. At least 2, maybe 3. Probably 2. And then definitely the force will be on, possibly a steal. Just needs to make a nice, good shot here. And he threw a pretty big weight here. I think he's going to be just fine. The question is where the shooter's going to stay. You'd like it to stay right there, I think. And I think it will. No, just rolls off a bit. But he's sitting 2. The force is on. It's not an easy shot to score, so good work there. Out on C, the draw's coming in for the 4th point. Maybe a little heavy. I think it's going to be okay, though. Yeah, good shot there. And that is right back in this game. Great job, Kama Hamilton. What a nice draw. And now it's 7-6. Some assembly required versus Makakasama-Tayo. So, on our feature, HamDangell is forced. And the question is, yeah, so they're going to go for the draw to the side of the 4-foot here, which makes a lot of sense. Very hard to draw all right around that red that's top 8, so quite like this idea, just very weight sensitive. There's so much curl on the sheet that this could easily over curl. Let's see. Final stone underway in 6. Kirsten Dangaran looking for the 4-foot. It's curling already. Sweepers have really got to go. And I think this might over curl. Can they get some roll in? I don't think they're going to be able to. Oh, no. And that is going to be, I think, a steal of at least 2, and a 3rd is really close. Could even be 3. It might be a measure for the 3rd point there. And I think they're going to take a look at that with the measuring stick. They've looked at it multiple times. It's a big point. Well, they decided. I don't know what they decided, but they decided. So we will find out whether that was 2 or 3. But either way, a great end for All About the Oob. Playing with 3, but winning the game so far. So I expect they will try to just throw it in the house now with a comfortable lead. And that looks like what they're doing. Yeah, this one's just going to come into the top 12 area. Well, maybe it's top for a guard. It's very close to the top of the rings. Might be a guard. And it was indeed 3. Score was just hung on the scoreboard. So a huge steal for Dan Kennedy and his team, taking control of the game. with just 2 ends left. And so the only game that's still in the 6th end is on sheet D. And I think the hammer is coming up. Yes, it is. And a whole lot of stones in the forefoot there on D. And looks like probably yellow is shot right now. Very well, hard to say actually. Very close. Maybe red, but it's quite tight. Maybe it's red. And I don't know if this is maybe a draw for 2. Not sure what the plan is. It looks like a draw. So just trying to draw in there, catch a piece of the button for maybe 2. You will see. Sweepers are on it. It looks pretty good for weight. I don't know. It's all about the line now. Oh, it's going to just hit the top guard. Pretty close for weight, so we'll see if they have decided. They think it's red. Yeah, it's 1 red, so Philippine Queens takes the single and gives up the hammer. And don't know if they're going to carry on or not. I think they're discussing it. Well, we'll find out in a minute whether they decide to play on. Back on our feature. It's another draw coming in here for Stephen under the yellow-red guards. And they are going to carry on D, looks like. Oh, this one really needs to curl a long way, but look at it go sideways. It's trying, but I don't think it's going to get undercover. No, it's going to be wide open. But stops in the top 8. So now HamDangell has to generate, well, you really need at least a 2. And then maybe you could steal 2. But a single's not going to be enough. So I have to maybe take a few risks here to try and generate at least a couple. Here's Ben Campbell throwing the takeout. Nice hit and stay. With that red in the forefoot fully buried. Dan is going to be happy to exchange hits here as long as no big mistakes are made. He wouldn't mind giving up a single. That would be just fine. Definitely don't want to accidentally run into your own here. I think it's going to be okay, but it does need to curl. It does need to curl. Is he going to jam it? Oh! No, he just got away with that. That was a little scary for a second. All right, so now HamDangell going to clear the front here. Maybe make the double would be awesome, but at least get rid of the red in the top 12. Open up shot stone. Good weight thrown here. Looks pretty close. I don't know if it's going to make the double, but it's going to... Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Just hit the yellow first. Yeah, that is so close to a good shot there, but just couldn't hit that yellow first. Now, all about the oop, really in control here. Question is almost like, what do you do? Well, I think you just throw a guard, but what do you guard? I think I'd be tempted to guard the one that's on the tee line. Let's see where they decide to put it. Just looking through the chat. Go Team Oob. Yes, absolutely. They're doing well. Having a good game here. Doing well with just 3 players on the ice right now. In control of this game, but still a couple of ends to go. Anything can happen. But it's all red right now. I mean, how? So here, how do you've got no guards. How do you generate some offense? So what you probably do here, you start tapping back the opponent's stone. You try to use them, right? You don't have any guards to work with, so you try to make your opponent's stones hurt them. So I'd love to see sort of like a back 8 kind of weight here. Throw a draw, tap back a red into like the back 8 area, trying to create some kind of wall, and leave your yellows in like the top 4, top 8. That's kind of what you have to do here. It's not a lot of fun, but I think that's what you have to do. Just coming in here with a nice soft weight. Don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, it doesn't remove any reds. That's actually not bad because it moves those reds a little further back and leaves the yellow in there. That's definitely the right idea. And looks like Dan deciding to go for the draw here. Very tempting to play the takeout on the yellow. Of course, you don't want to jam it on your own reds. That would be very sad. But there's risk here too. If there's too many reds in this, it actually helps your opponent. So let's see. Let's see where it goes. Sweeper not touching it so far. It's just going to come into the like back 4 area. Well, top 4, no, but good shot. Very nice draw. So now, I think another little tap is pretty tempting. Yeah, I kind of like this. So just a little hit and flop here. I like this idea a lot. You just want to put your yellows in places they can't be easily removed. And then good things can happen, sort of the idea. Maybe your opponent tries to remove your stones anyway and they kind of jam something, but this one really needs to curl. It needs to curl a long way. Makes contact, but maybe just a little too much weight there. Takes the red over almost into a maybe even a better spot. And now it's one of those situations where what do? You're sitting 3. There's an annoying yellow in the top 8 you'd love to remove, but you'd hate to jam it on your own. I think if it's me, I am probably going for the takeout. And you just kind of protect and make sure you don't over curl on it. But Dan's got a different plan. I mean, he is sitting 3 after all, so and there's only 2 more yellows left, so maybe he feels like it's under control. A little discussion here with Steven, front end player. All right, so here's Dan's draw attempt coming up. Or maybe he's even throwing a guard. They said, oh, I heard 2-3, which would indicate a guard weight. Although it looks a little more than that. I think they might just end up corner freezing or bouncing off this yellow. Well, you know, he's sitting 4, so you can't be too unhappy. Yeah, it's a pretty good situation. Maybe you could tap that yellow sort of into that pocket, try and sort of set up some kind of 2 situation, but It's pretty tough right now. I think you have to be thinking about that. Just tap that yellow forward. Try and get it somewhere that can't be removed. Maybe you can get a 2. And that is what they're looking at. I really like a soft weight for this, just like a heavy draw. Try and keep the shooter around as well. Yeah, they're just deciding on the line and the weight here, but definitely going for some action on the yellow. So, I think based on the ice, it looks like maybe a backline to hat kind of weight. And I think it's important to keep the shooter and the target rock around. Just make all about the oops. Think about the situation here. If you play this perfect, you could be sitting like 1 and maybe first and maybe third, first and fourth even. Oh, but I think this is going to over curl. They might just hit the red directly. Not sure what's going to happen actually. And well, an interesting situation. In fact, not a bad result because yellow is third and there's a double on those reds now. So there is potential for a 2. So actually a good result. You've got a multiple score opportunity, and that's all you really can ask for there. So a nice result there. And the question is, what does Dan do here? He is sitting 2, but there's a pretty easy double on those 2 reds. So he either, I think he's thinking about, should he guard it or should he throw another one in there? It's not a very easy guard. I think, yeah, Gordon is kind of indicating, why don't we just come right in there? And I like that idea a lot. Just throw a sort of freeze in there. And then you just take all that away. I think the Hammerstone just came in on sheet C there. And it looks like it was a multiple score for some assembly required. Maybe a 3, it looks like. And they are discussing what to do here. Well, here comes Dan's rock. His last shot, and this is really curling. It looks really light. I don't think he's even going to guard that, so he's going to leave the door open. Oh, wow. So now there will be a chance for 2. There's a double for 2 and to get back in this game. And it was a score of 3 over on sheet C for some assembly required. So they are 10-6 ahead with 1 end to play. So just lining up the shot here on B. But I think it's what you have. I think you've got to go for it. Definitely there. Question is, what kind of weight do you want to throw at it? You don't need to throw a rocket because you only need to get the top red out of the forfeit. So even something like a bumper weight's enough here. I think I'd be throwing a little more, but you can definitely make it with pretty much any weight you like. Just tightening up the ice a little bit there. It's quite a lot of ice, so it must be trying to throw a relatively downweight shot. Just having a little discussion here. All right, here comes Kirsten Dangaran, about to deliver. Final stone. Stone is underway. Looks like a bumper weight. Going for that double. Sweepers are on it. Oh, it's curling early. Oh, this is going to overcurl. This is gone. This is going to be all over the center guards. Oh, I think it was just light. Oh, that was light. That was not even a T-line, so I don't know if we're losing some speed in the ice, but that is definitely down weight, and that's a steal of at least 2 for All About the Oob. And I think that's the game. Yeah, that's the game. So HamDangell concedes. Great game for Dan Kennedy and All About the Oob. 3 players, but no problem. Really good work, and they will move on. And, HamDangell, they play well. They were just on the wrong side of a couple of shots there. It definitely was closer than the score Luke suggested. So, some good stones there. Since Sheet B is complete, we're going to move over to watch the remainder of the game on Sheet C, which is a nice tight game. It's currently 7-6. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. It's 10-6 in favor of some assembly required. So not that tight, but one more end to go. And some assembly required are in control. We'll update that score for you. Just a second. And the games on Sheet A and Sheet B are both completed. And so, and on Sheet D, they are also, well, they're currently still in the 7th end. We'll keep an eye on that. In fact, I think we might move over there and watch the end of that game. And we'll just keep an eye on that. So all yellow as well right now on C. Some assembly required. Really in control. And going to run out of stones for Makakasama very soon. Got to score 4. Got to make something happen.
Yeah, my interns are pretty bad these days.
All 4 of these have to score, Cam. We decided to go for a draw. Let's do something fun. Got it, girl? Okay. Good job, Micah.
All right, well, that is game over on C. And we'll move over to D for the final remaining game. Mulvey versus Philippine Queens. Philippine Queens are throwing red. Mulvey is yellow. And it's currently 9-6 to Mulvey in the 8th. And Mulvey also has the hammer. So definitely in control. This draw coming in just over curling. It's going to end up in the back 12 somewhere. But, you know, they need rocks around, but that one's not a very threatening rock. So I think Mulvey, well, going for the draw. Don't know if either of those reds are really available. Be tempting to take the one out back 8 if you could see it, but maybe they can't quite see it, or we don't have the best angle from the commentary box here. I say commentary box, we're just in the warm room. Yeah, it does look like they can see that yellow. In fact, they're actually just going to accidentally guard it, which is kind of a disaster, but luckily they're 3 ahead with the hammer, so... But yeah, not ideal at all. Couldn't be short with that, I think was the problem. Got to throw a little extra in the 8th bend. But still... So, Philippine Queens are sitting 2nd and 3rd right now. And gonna draw here, maybe like a little freeze tap. A little tap maybe on the yellow. Tap it to the back 4 or something, could be nice. Let's see. Oh, that's definitely a lot more weight, and I think this is just gonna take out their own. Yeah, just kind of replacing their own red there, so not quite what they wanted. Tanya going for the draw again. I think just going to draw our way to victory. Still be pretty tempted to take out the open red, but going to stick to the draw around the guard. And I think the weight is definitely there. Might tap their own, which wouldn't be terrible. If they can roll over as well. No, just a straight tap. Not bad. So, got some granite to shift here for the Philippine Queens. I think it would be tempting to play a nose hit here. The back yellow goes, and if you sit on top at the right angle, you would have a potential shot to sit 3 later. So I think that is what they're going to try. Just try and make it difficult for Mulvey. You know, you don't have the hammer, but you can make it awkward. Good weight coming in. I think he needs to curl, though. Definitely going to make something to go away, but no. Yes. Gets the top yellow out, but loses the shooter. And the trouble is just running out of stones. Need to keep those shooters around. Tanya just calling the draw again. This is Dominique Banville throwing. Very, very experienced curler, Dominique. And I expect this to be close. I don't think she's going to leave this one short. Dominique knows better than that. So this one is definitely all there. Yeah. Going to come right to their own. Just a tiny tap maybe. No, just right there. Yeah, nice shot. So what do you do here if you're the Philippine Queens? Obviously, you gotta move those yellows, but you don't need to throw a rocket. You hit the top one with like a hack weight and just roll over a little. Might be nice. Just try and keep that shooter around. I think that's really important here. If you're ever gonna steal 3, you gotta keep all the rocks you can around. Let's see. I think that's quite a lot of weight coming. Definitely going to move something, but is the shooter going to stay? Oh, might go past everything. No, it does make contact. Does the yellow get out? It gets out to the back 12. Not bad, but I think I would have liked to just see a little less weight there. Just try and, keep the shooter in play. Just try and make Mulvey play some hard shots. So, currently 3 rocks left for Mulvey, and I think only 2 left for Philippine Queens, so a really absolutely uphill battle now. Mulvey throwing the guard. Which, understandable. You've got a rock top button, and you could also play the takeout on the red, and then I think that would end the game if you made that, because then they run out of stones. But maybe just playing to the strengths that they know they have throughout this game. This is what's worked for them. So, and that's a nice guard. Yeah, that's really covered most of the shot stone. With only 2 rocks remaining, Philippine Queens, and 3 just to tie. Definitely a tricky situation. I think all you can do here is probably maybe you just play a freeze and then hope for a miss from your opponent, and then you can play on your own with your next one. But a very difficult situation. Yeah, and it looks like they are going for the draw. But you really need a double miss here from Mulvey if you're going to steal that 3. All right, here comes the first of the skip stones for Philippine Queens. And I think they would love to move the yellow. They don't need to get it out, but they do need to move it. And this looks close, but it's going to hit the top. Oh, it's just going to roll. Well, that is interesting. They are second and third. And yeah, I think Tanya here wasting no time. She's going to go after this red and end the game right here. She takes this out. That's it. And so doesn't even need to stick around. Just needs to get rid of the red. Just one more good shot needed here. Here comes Tanya, delivering her stone. Go for the takeout. Sweepers are on. As long as you don't jam it, your job's fine. And I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, good throw, good shot, and that should end the game. Run Philippine Queens out of stones, but a fun battle, a high-scoring game. Mulvey moves on, and that is the last game completed for this draw. So thank you very much for watching, and we will be back very soon with the next draw. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.